What's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to our brand new Go Battle League video. Today I'm going to be showcasing some more battles with this Victini team. Yesterday I put this sort of spotlight on Rapidash. Today we're going to flip the narrative a little bit and focus on Victini. But overall for me, this is the best team in the Psychic Cup. I actually tried some Ultra League today, and unfortunately I just had a very bad time. I started losing a lot of matches, and to be honest with you, I just don't have a ton of Pokemon that are ready for Ultra League. I've got a few things built like Charizard, Swampert, Venusaur, I've got a Giratina, Pidgeot, and a few other things that are built for Ultra League. But just overall, I can't really find a team that I can settle down on and just gain a bunch of elo with. So today's recording session was a bit of a funny one. I started off in the Psychic Cup running Bruxish with double charm. You know, I know, I'm sorry. Like, I just want to let you guys know, before I started making YouTube videos, I absolutely hated charm. But for some reason, you know, I've decided to do these for YouTube videos. I think a lot of people enjoy watching just, you know, Pokemon getting absolutely charmed down. And I can sort of see how it is a little bit funny. So just gonna let you guys know that last season, whenever Charm was super strong, well I guess season before last, I absolutely hated it and I used to run Nidoqueen quite a lot to counter the Charm users, so I thought I'd let you guys know that. But I want to do a couple of shoutouts for some comments. So shout out to Evan, he said, I've had a ton of luck with Victini, Bronzong and Galarian Rapidash. So if you guys have a Bronzong, it may be an option to swap out if you don't have a good Bruxish build. Another quick shout out to Gokul Rama, who said, how the hell does everyone have a Victini? I've never seen one in my 2 years of playing this game. Well, Gokul and anybody else who's wondering, you actually can get Victini for free. There's a special research that's available free for every player, and it's called Investigate a Mysterious Energy. Now, if you complete all of your research and get up to that point, and complete Mysterious Energy, you will be able to get yourself a Victini for free. So if you don't have one yet, you're going to have to start cranking through that research. I casually got back into Pokemon Go about 1.5 years ago, and only started playing Go Battle League about 6 months ago. Actually, I think last Psychic Cup, at that point, just before then, I was starting to get into Pokemon Go again, like into the Go Battle League and everything. So it took me a while to get through those researches, bro. Like, some of the Pokemon that you have to catch are kind of annoying to catch. There was one with Execute and Whismur, both of which took me forever. If you guys are stuck on that Whismur one, I think you can get it on the Team Rocket grunt, and normal is not weak, or normal does not mean weak. I was doing that grunt for so long, it took me forever to get it. I just kept getting Alolan Rattata. So yeah, I know it can be a little bit tough to get through that, but that is basically how you get it. And in today's video, guys, I want to let you know my backstory a little bit and where I've came from, how I got to this point, and all that kind of fun stuff. I don't usually like talking about myself too much. I thought I might as well do it today because it's a little bit of a filler week with the Psychic Cup and there's not really a whole lot of teams that we can do here. We're just going to be having a chat here, kind of chilling out and talking about things, and I thought I'd mention, because I'm sure some of you are paying attention to the gameplay, in that first battle, I threw a body slam on the Bronzong. I thought the opponent had a shield, so I threw the body slam bait. I was baiting myself on that one. We do have the Galarian Slowbro and Slowking Community Day this weekend. I highly recommend going for that because those Pokemon are going to be very good in this cup. I think Galarian Slowking will probably be ranked like 2 or 3 in this cup. It's going to learn Surf. Of course, it has Hex, Shadow Ball, and Surf. Hex is pretty good for energy generation, and of course it'll hit for super effective, and Surf will just completely destroy Victinis. That Pokemon's going to just do so well against Rapidash. It'll be a huge core breaker. So if you look at the video from yesterday with Gardevoir, I think if you run like Galarian Slowking, Gardevoir and Rapidash, that'll be a broken team. So there's a little bit of a head start for you. Get that team ready for Saturday. If you guys are running Gardevoir, actually after Saturday it might be worth not running it anymore because you're going to see a ton of poison types in the meta and people trying out the Surf Slowbros and everything. And also, I'm going to be uploading these videos hopefully a little bit early. I live in Japan here, which is typically about 12 to 14 hours ahead of America. So we do get the community days very early. So keep an eye out on the channel if you want to see early gameplay from those. Also, if any of you guys are from Australia or New Zealand, please feel free to submit some battles for me if you get community day Pokemon early and record gameplay with them straight away, because it'll help me get those videos out really quickly. Alrighty folks, with all that being said, let's hop into it. And of course you know what to do, like subscribe, all that fun stuff. Join Discord if you want to join the community. But how did I get started on this channel? Why am I in Japan? Those are maybe some of the more common things I think people would be wondering about. So this channel right here, it used to be called King Live. I actually have a second, well it's technically my first channel, but I have another channel called King Plays. And that channel, it's got about 45,000 subs on it. I've had that channel for 5 or 6 years. And on that channel, believe it or not, the funny thing is, I started playing Pokemon Go on that channel 5 or 6 years ago. So back in what would have been, 2016 or 17, I started uploading Pokemon Go, like, Let's Play videos sort of thing, where I'd go out. I just moved to Japan at that point, so I'd go out and catch Pokemon, and I thought that would be amazing. I'm going to go to Japan. My girlfriend at the time is Japanese, and of course she's my wife now. I've got 2 kids. I'll get into that a little bit later, but at the time I just got a visa to come visit Japan for a year. For the first while I was doing marketing, so I was working for a company that I worked for in Australia before. I was basically phoning up Australian people using a Skype line, and selling websites, Google AdWords and SEO. Google AdWords is basically like, let's say for example, if you search on Google for a Domino's pizza or pizza near me or food delivery, you'll see the advertised things at the top. That's basically Google AdWords, and SEO is like kind of similar to how people do YouTube videos. Tags, titles, descriptions, and metadata, which is just kind of information that's on the page, which gives the page relevance to the topic that's being searched. So I used to do that kind of stuff, and before I left Northern Ireland, which is where I'm from, and came to Japan, me and my cousin, we started playing Pokemon Go, and it was a ton of fun at the time. Obviously, like, we were just trying to take over the local gyms. Fun fact, I actually started off as Instinct, and I changed over to Mystic about a year and a half ago, whenever I got back into the game. I'll get into that a little bit later as well. It was obviously a ton of fun, and as I was going to Japan, I was like, yo, this is about to be crazy. Like, I'm going to be able to catch so many Pokemon in Japan. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be crazy. So what I done at that time was recorded my first vlog whenever I was leaving Northern Ireland, kind of recording my journey from Dublin to Japan. And, you know, it was a ton of fun making it. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and back then the production quality was, I guess, I had some good ideas. I've always had good ideas, but I never really knew how to do YouTube or anything. So I started doing that, and before I went to Japan, I'd met my wife in Australia. While I was in Australia, I was working for this Google partner, and I basically was able to do that from home. I used to do that every morning and then go out for a lot of the afternoon and just record some gameplay and record some footage, and I was trying super hard to grow my channel with Pokemon Go videos. I had some pretty successful videos, like some of the videos on evolution stones and everything, done quite well. But after Generation 2 came out, I started to lose a little bit of interest in the game, because back at this point, the only thing you could really do is catch Pokemon, evolve Pokemon, go for lucky eggs, of course, you know, try to get Stardust and power stuff up, and try to take over gyms. This was well before research even was in the game. This is before raids were happening. I actually stopped playing before Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres, Mewtwo, and all of the legendary and mythical Pokemon started coming out. So at that time it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of like getting a little bit boring. When I was younger, like 15 or 16, I was always really into Call of Duty. I think at the time on my other channel, I had about 300 or 400 subs maybe, and I decided, you know, that was after kind of months of grinding it. I kind of decided, okay, I'm going to make a transition into Call of Duty. But I actually came across a game called H1Z1, which was a new Battle Royale game, which was kind of out for maybe 6 or 8 months at the time. I started streaming that and uploading it, and at that time I'd never played a PC game before. I was terrible on mouse and keyboard. I got a lot better at that game and became really successful making videos, obviously improved my editing and production value and all that kind of stuff, and actually just became really successful on the game. I built my channel up to, I think at the peak, like almost 50,000, and unfortunately, if you guys are aware of what happened with H1Z1, it just kind of died out. I tried some things like Fortnite, I done really well in PUBG, and H1Z1 actually came out on the PlayStation 4, so I had a lot of years of success with PUBG and H1Z1, two of the biggest Battle Royale games at the time, and even a little bit of success with Fortnite when it first came out. So basically my daily routine was, I'll wake up in the morning, I would stream and upload a video, and then go to work at 6 PM. I do an evening English class, and then I would spend a lot of my time just streaming and uploading, and trying to make kind of like a full-time job out of streaming and YouTube and all that sort of stuff. After a lot of these Battle Royale games died out, I eventually made the transition into Call of Duty. I was always a huge fan of Call of Duty, from Call of Duty 4 up to Call of Duty Ghosts. That era of Call of Duty was just unbelievably good in my opinion, and I always kind of wanted to transition into it. I spent a couple of years trying to upload Call of Duty, Warzone, basically every game from Black Ops 4 up until the recent Modern Warfare 2. I had varying amounts of success, but to be honest with you, those games kind of fell off quite a lot. They never really lived up to the glory of old school Call of Duty, and with things like skill-based matchmaking and hackers and everything running rampant in Warzone and multiplayer, it just became very sickening for me, and I sort of got myself into a point with that where it was becoming very stressful, and I didn't enjoy making YouTube videos anymore. I felt like I was just a complete failure at that, and I'd basically invested 5 or 6 years into a channel that was really successful, and then had become just completely non-existent almost. We had built an amazing community there for H1Z1, but just unfortunately the game kind of died off, and if you look it up in Steam charts now, it's got something like 80 or 90 players. From time to time I would have done like throwback videos, like this is H1Z1 in 2019, 2020, 22, 23, etc. And those videos always done extremely well, and there was always like a really amazing community there for that game. But just unfortunately for me in that channel, I was never really able to like fully transition into something else and become successful and build a great community in any other sort of game. Whenever the new Call of Duty games come out every year, I always had like a really good growth spurt, and I was doing very well at those. But like I said, unfortunately, Call of Duty I just think has died off completely in terms of multiplayer, and Call of Duty Warzone, especially with the release of Warzone 2, has just kind of went to hell in my opinion. I was actually doing very well with Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 content, But again, I was just hating getting on every day to upload and stream it. It actually got to the point where with all the stress and over those couple of years, just basically spending a ton of time sitting down, editing, spending a ton of time on these games, getting very stressed out and everything. My diet was absolutely terrible. I wasn't going to the gym. You know, whenever I first came to Japan, like I was pretty fit, like I was walking quite a lot, and I've never been like a gym rat or anything. I was definitely never like really overweight for those last couple of years, and I was in definitely pretty good shape. It got to the point where I had put on a ton of weight. I was up to about 230 pounds. I was up to about 230 pounds about a year and a half ago. My channel was not doing well, my physical and mental health wasn't doing well, and at that point I just kind of had to change something. During those years I've had 2 kids, one of them's 4 and the other's 2. My 4-year-old son was really into Pokemon. And you know, I always loved Pokemon when I was a child. Like I played Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Gold, and I think I didn't get any of the games after that. Because, you know, back in my day, I'm actually 30 years old, believe it or not. Back in my day, we used to go outside and play, you know, so gaming was just not the same as it is now back then. But I loved those games, and I was always a huge fan of Pokemon and the anime and stuff like that, and the movies. My son got really into Pokemon for some reason. I think my wife kind of got him into it a little bit, and you know, talking to his friends at school, like they would have like Pokemon things to color in and everything. And just in Japan, Pokemon is really popular and huge. It's kind of like a part of daily life almost. You know, to see Pokemon stuff everywhere, it's really, really cool. My son Alex used to ask me like, hey Papa, what's this Pokemon? And I used to be able to name like the first, you know, 250 pretty easily. And I knew a few of the legendary Pokemon, maybe like Kyogre and Groudon and stuff from the later generations. Even to this point, I still don't know which generations some Pokemon are from, because I never really played the main series games, and I don't really know all of the later generations like that. But at that stage, Pokemon Phone had been off my phone for years, and I just didn't even think about playing it. And I thought, you know what, I need to change something with my life. I'm very unhappy. I need to get out, I need to get fit, I need to get healthy. And what better way than to hit the gym? I was hitting the gym, you know, I started off just keeping the same diet, and I started hitting the gym, like, I decided to go, okay, we'll go for like 2-3 days a week. I'll keep my diet the same, it's whatever. I'll just go and do a little bit of, you know, running and a little bit of lifting in the gym. And it started off like that, and then, you know, I just kind of built it up and up over time. I started improving my diet over time a little bit. I stopped eating, you know, as much processed food, and started eating more like healthy food. For me, the gym helped a ton, and I started obviously doing a ton of walking with Pokemon, because I opened up the game and there were so many new features that I'd never seen before. It's like, whoa, we've got these raids, and it was kind of disheartening at the start because I was max level at the time when I quit, level 30, but there was all these level 40s and 50s everywhere, and my Pokemon weren't even strong enough to compete in gym battles, so it was a struggle for me to even get Pokecoins, and even like compete in raids and everything. So I started like just hammering through the research, and you know, getting a ton of free stuff, and of course, as I said at the start of the video, the Victini research, and got a Mew, and that was really fun and exciting for me, just actually playing the sort of main part of the game. I hopped into GBL a couple of times, but like it just didn't interest me at the time, to be honest with you. I just thought like there's just no way for me to compete in this because I just have nothing built. So I just didn't even bother. What I actually used to do is just go in and just forfeit all my matches and get the Stardust out of it. You know, after I realized, oh, you actually get a decent amount of Stardust out of this. So that's what I would have done pretty much every day. You know, maybe went and done the occasional battle. I would play like, you know, a set at the most, and then, you know, just forfeit a lot of my battles if I could be bothered doing it. So I wasn't really into it, and I was just enjoying walking around, hatching eggs, catching all of the Pokemon that I've never seen before, and, you know, showing my son on my phone, like, hey, look at these Pokemon I caught today, and starting to learn all of the Pokemon from Gen 3 onwards. I can't remember exactly when that was, but at the time, Tapu Fini was in raids when I first started getting back into it, or it just got into raids, I think. Maybe like a week or two after. I think at the time Spritzy was in raids too, and hilariously enough, I thought Spritzy was a legendary Pokemon. Whenever I first started playing Pokemon Go again, I had so little knowledge that I thought Spritzy was a legendary Pokemon, which is absolutely hilarious. It was a ton of fun, and over the sort of last year and a half, I've lost an absolute ton of weight. I've got down to about 80 kilos, which I can't remember what that is in pounds, but I think I lost like 50 pounds. I think it's like 180 or something. I'm pretty sure I lost about 50 pounds over the last year and a half just by eating better, going to the gym, playing Pokemon Go, and just doing a ton of walking. There was a lot of weeks where last summer and stuff like that, I was walking like over 100k per week, just walking to and from work, walking to the gym, playing Pokemon Go outside, all this kind of stuff, and generally just got myself into a much better headspace, and started to really enjoy that, and it sort of made the YouTube thing a little bit easier as well. So this year Modern Warfare 2 was coming out, and the previous Call of Duty was called Vanguard, which is a World War II Call of Duty, which was really unsuccessful and really unpopular. So I decided, okay, this is my last shot. I'm going to try my absolute best to be successful at this game. And you know, I've got myself sorted out a little bit. I've learned a ton of Pokemon, and you know, that was something me and my son done together, and I was, focusing more on spending time with family than streaming and editing and uploading. So I decided, okay, I'm going to give this one last shot on the main channel here and just go for it. I actually had set up this channel previously. There was about maybe 250, 300 subs on it before I started making Pokemon Go content on it. I just asked people to come sub to it, and I done the occasional Minecraft speedrun live stream on this channel. But basically just 2 months ago I just realized, like, this Call of Duty thing isn't for me anymore. I'm never going to be able to do this full time. It's just something I don't enjoy, and I think the whole point of doing something like YouTube is to enjoy it, and potentially, give yourself a career that you actually enjoy, or just do it for fun. If you're doing YouTube and you're not enjoying it, you're an idiot, basically, in my personal opinion, and I was a complete idiot because I was trying to do it. So I started this channel about 6 weeks ago, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna just upload on here, like, once or twice a week, just do some battles, and, just do some stupid commentaries, and, like, if you look back at my earlier videos, I just wanted to make funny battles. I knew that I was not very good at the game, because I only really started GBL about 6 months ago. I only really started getting into GBL around the last Psychic Cup, and I just didn't really have that much built, and I just wanted to do it for entertainment purposes. I had Galarian Zapdos and Moltres, and I thought, okay, I'll just upload some funny videos and, just do that kind of stuff. Just do like spicy videos or whatever. My first video on this channel done really well. I done a Swampert double flyer team, and it done really well, and a couple of videos later I uploaded the video with Diggersby, and that video done really well. It got like 6,000 or 7,000 views. That was the first video that I started using this thumbnail style, which a lot of people give me a ton of compliments on, where it's basically like a Pokemon looking extremely scary and the other Pokemon are sitting lying around crying and stuff. That video just absolutely popped off, and it was such a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting this channel to do anything. I hadn't planned on uploading so much on it, but that first video just gave me a ton of encouragement. I seen this as something that I do enjoy. It's not going to take up an absolute ton of my time and be detrimental to my health, and it's just something like a little side thing I can do, and a little side project I can do from time to time, and I can just keep streaming on my main channel. But after a couple of weeks I realized, like, I really enjoy doing this, and it's a lot more successful than I thought it was going to be. So I decided, okay, I'm pretty much going to focus on this 100% and treat my main channel, so to speak, as kind of like a second channel where I upload the occasional like FPS video or do the occasional stream on. So I do have to say, like, I am extremely grateful for the community we've built here already. It's far surpassed my expectations, and I can only say thank you because you guys are a fantastic community here, and I feel very privileged and grateful that I was able to do so well so quickly. We've only just hit 1,000 subs recently, but I feel like we're on an amazing track here, and I'm just going to keep trying my best. I'm going to keep trying my best to learn, improve at the game. I still have a really long way to go in terms of becoming a legend player and stuff like that. I would love to achieve it this season, but it may not be obtainable. At the very least, I'm going to keep improving everything, trying to power up as much Pokemon as possible, learn the matchups, and try to become really good at this game. I feel like I've improved a lot already. Last season my highest elo was 2580, and previous to that I think the most I'd ever hit was like 2200. The season before that I finished on like 2100, so I've definitely made a big improvement, but I do have a long way to go, and I just want to say, man, thank you everybody who's coming along for the journey here, and thank you for enjoying my content. It really does mean a lot, and as I said before, I am very grateful for it. It was only really a few months ago that I started to realize different things about move timing, and I started to realize different things about Pokemon's IVs. I was kind of, wasting a lot of Stardust back then, because I was kind of just prioritizing my Gen 1 Pokemon, because of course that's what I grew up with and that's what I enjoyed using. So I was powering up like Vaporeons and just all of the evolutions and powering up starter Pokemon, and I think I like actually TM'd off some, you know what I was doing? I was using Elite Charge TMs on Mew, which is just wild, honestly. I was doing some crazy shit, like, GBL wasn't even a consideration at the time, so I just wasted so much, and, at the time, like I said, I was just doing it for fun. Like, I didn't have any intentions of doing Go Battle League or anything. I actually powered up my Mew to 2520. That was going to be my project, to max level a Mew, if possible, like, put it as my body and just max level it. It's kind of sad, I can't even use Mew in Great League or Ultra League, which is very sad, actually. Same with Celebi, I powered it up to, like, 1800, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna power up these mythical and legendaries up to, like, max level or whatever. Of course I didn't realize how unobtainable XL Candy is at the time, but yeah, that was a bit of a mistake, let's just say. Live and you learn, folks. You live and you learn, so if you ever see my Pokemon with terrible IVs, you basically know why. I wasted all of my Stardusts and everything on a 2520 Mew and a Celebi, so there you go, folks, that's the reason why. Actually, probably one of the most annoying things that ever happened to me is my son powered up, I think it was some weird, like, I think he powered up an Ariados or something. I had like 200k of Stardust saved up for the first time, and he just burned through it. I think he powered up like his Wireless and an Ariados, something crazy like that. There's definitely been some misplays with the Stardust and the investments here, but I think I'm definitely a little bit better at that now. So guys, that's pretty much my backstory and, you know, sort of how I got into this channel and how I got into YouTube and how I sort of came to Japan. If you guys are wondering about the Australia thing, which I briefly mentioned, so back in, I guess, was it 2015, I got a working holiday to Australia. Australia is an amazing country and I had just an amazing time there. I started out working in the Outback in a gas station in the Outback. It was a really small town. It was literally like 100 kilometers from any other town. There was basically absolutely nothing there, but it was kind of amazing in a way. Like, you could go for a 5-minute walk from the town and go into like a wild swamp where you would see emus running about and wild boars and kangaroos. You could see as far as the eye can see. You could see like 50 kilometers in one direction in the sky, and whenever there was like lightning storms and stuff at night, it was amazing. There wasn't that many lights and stuff in the town, so there was no like light pollution, so at night you could see absolutely everything in the sky, which was just unreal. So it was kind of like, in that town there was 2 gas stations, a chemist, 1 bar, a small golf club, a hairdresser's maybe, and a bakery, and maybe like 1 or 2 other things. That was it, literally that was it. They had a train which came, I think, once every 2 days or something. It was so out of the way, it was unreal. I was working there with my cousin, and eventually he went back to Northern Ireland, and at that point I decided to make a move to the Gold Coast, where I sort of got really lucky and met a couple of really good friends there, who I ended up moving in with at the time. In Australia, backpackers move in with people pretty often and just pay rent, so that's a very common thing, and I just moved in with somebody who I just kind of talked to on the phone. I was like, yeah, you seem cool, alright, fine, come on down. Phoned up somebody, it's like, can I have a job? It's like, okay, yeah, sure. You have experience? Okay, right, come on then. So basically done that, which was kind of funny. It lived with some random dude who turned out to be one of my best friends now, which is amazing. And basically we were out one night and I ended up meeting my wife in an Irish bar, just as we were leaving, which is kind of funny as well. So there you go, that's roughly how I met my wife and, you know, started this whole thing. It's definitely been a fun journey, and, you know, hopefully that backstory is, you know, kind of interesting. By the way, we've got a Ho-Oh here, so pretty lucky. I've actually had 3 of these recently from research. I haven't had a legendary for months, and suddenly I've got 3 of them. But as you guys will see here in a second, I'm up to 2173 elo. So I basically ended the day where I finished yesterday. I just had really bad luck in the Ultra League, and a pretty negative set this morning. I think I went 2 for 3 with the Dirty Charm team, so we basically done a full circle today. If you're wondering why I switched over from Instinct to Mystic, it's basically because at the time I didn't have Pokemon to battle gyms, and more people were on Mystic, so I just wanted to get coins basically. Anyway everybody, thank you very much for watching. Once again, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who tunes into the videos, who enjoys them, leaves comments, likes, and who are supporting this journey of mine to try and sort of grow this channel and try to become a better content creator for Pokemon Go, and of course a better player. I do feel very privileged and very grateful, so big shout out to everybody, man. It is very much appreciated. Feel free to ask any questions and I'll maybe like squeeze it into another video just here and there. But I thought since we hit 1k recently and we've got not a whole lot going on in Go Battle League this week, it might be a good opportunity to do this, and I hope you guys enjoyed, man. If you guys want to run some battles against me, I'm always pinging people in the Discord. We do practice battles in there, so there's some really cool people in there as well. It's a good vibe in there, so feel free to join up the Discord. And I'll catch you tomorrow for some Galarian Slowbro, Slowking, on all of the Slowbros and Slowkings. We'll get some content out for that. And like I said, if you want to submit your battles, there will be a link in the description down below. Thank you everybody, and have a fantastic rest of your day.